Scholarship opportunities in refrigeration and air conditioning. Study at the Institute of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, ITVET, 2026 to 2027 school year. The National Ozone Unit, NOU, Department of the Environment, coordinate Belize's implementation of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer to build the skilled workforce needed to safely service next-generation climate-friendly refrigerants. The NOU is offering 12 full scholarships for the one-year refrigeration and air conditioning RAC program at participating ITVET institutions. The program supports Belize's phase-down of HFCs, the phase-out of HCFCs, and the safe adoption of energy-efficient low GWP refrigerants. Eligibility and conditions. Citizen or permanent resident of Belize, accepted into or eligible for admission to the RAC program at a participating ITVET. Genuine interest in a career in the RAC sector and commitment to completing the full 12-month program. Good character and discipline and compliance with the policies of the training institution. Female applicants are strongly encouraged to apply. A minimum of 4 of the 12 scholarships will be awarded to qualified female applicants. Scholarship benefits. Each scholarship is awarded for 1 calendar year, 12 months, and covers full tuition, testing and certification fees, personal protective equipment PPE for the safe handling of flammable and low GWP refrigerants, essential refrigeration and air conditioning tools. Recipients must maintain satisfactory academic progress, uphold the standards of their institution, and support the objectives of the scholarship program. Scholarship essay question. Belize is transitioning away from refrigerants that damage the ozone layer and contribute to climate change, and the country needs skilled refrigeration and air conditioning technicians to make this transition possible. In an essay of 400 to 500 words, tell us, why do you want to build a career in the refrigeration and air conditioning sector, and how do you see yourself contributing to your community and to Belize's environmental commitments as a trained RAC technician? Your essay should address A. Your personal motivation and any experience that has shaped your interest in this trade. B. The difference you hope your training will make for you, your family, or your community. And C. Your understanding of why properly trained technicians matter for the safe handling of refrigerants and the protection of Belize's environment. Essays will be assessed on sincerity and personal insight, clarity of expression, and awareness of the trade's importance, not on technical knowledge. Essay must be applicant's own original work. Application package. 1. Complete essay of 400 to 500 words. 2. Letter of acceptance into the RAC program at any of the ITVET Center. All interested persons must submit their completed application together with the ITVET letter of acceptance and the essay no later than Friday, 4th September 2026. Applications may be delivered in person to the address below or submitted electronically to the email address indicated. Refrigeration Scholarship Program. Chief Environmental Officer, Department of the Environment, 7552 Hummingbird Highway, Belmopan City. Telephone number 822-2816. Email ozone@environment.gov.bz. For more information, visit www.doe.gov.bz.
Tonight on Love Live at 6 News, these are our main stories. The Auditor General queries nearly $3 billion in write-offs carried out without House approval. Beyond the write-offs, missing records, unchecked accounts and untracked losses leave auditors unable to verify government's 2017 to 2018 finances. Potential lawsuits by Lord Ashcroft hover as SpeedNet calls for fairer competition. PUP chairman reflects on Cabinet's decision to reject the BTL Smart deal. Teachers Union keeps Tuesday's demonstration on the table until BTL's board formally reverses its approval. Belize and El Salvador sign a trade agreement after nearly 3 years of negotiations, and Belizean dairy farmers turn to Honduras for new technology and improved cattle genetics. We'll have those stories and others in tonight's Love Live at 6.
Introducing GrowWatt, a global leader in distributed energy solutions, delivering innovative solar technology trusted around the world. Engineered for reliability, designed for sustainability, built to power every scenario, powering homes, empowering businesses, creating a smarter energy future for Belize. For residential hybrid systems that maximize energy independence, to homes across Belize benefiting from smarter, more efficient power management. GrowWatt off-grid solar storage solutions bring dependable electricity to locations beyond the traditional power grid, providing clean, reliable energy whenever and wherever it is needed. For businesses, GrowWatt delivers powerful commercial and industrial energy solutions that help reduce operating costs while improving energy security, including proven installations right here in Belize, helping businesses operate efficiently with dependable solar energy systems. As transportation evolves, GrowWatt EV charging solutions help power the future with clean energy. Need power on the move? GrowWatt portable solar power solutions provide flexible energy for construction sites, events, emergency applications, and temporary installations. GrowWatt delivers energy smart solutions for a greener future. Distributed in Belize by Llano Supplies, 112 Ranchita Village, Corozal Town.
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Belize is growing, and as our nation grows, so does the demand for electricity and new energy solutions. More homes, more businesses, more opportunities. BEL continues to strengthen the system that supports this growth, reinforcing infrastructure and solidifying capacity, preparing for what's ahead, ensuring reliable service, for homes, for businesses, and for communities across Belize. Keeping the lights on every single day. Belize Electricity Limited, prepared for growth, prepared for Belize.
This no right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing the trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
Pelican is more than just brewed in Belize. It's made of Belize. And being made of Belize means being authentic, unique, and proud. This is what that looks like. Pelican, the beer of Belize. There are many stories to be shared about what it means to be made of Belize. Join Pelican in celebrating our Belizean heritage by sharing your unique story. A few of these stories will be selected to be produced into Pelican Made of Belize videos. Those chosen will receive Pelican beer for a year and will be invited to join us during production. Let's tell the stories of what it means to be made of Belize. Please send us a WhatsApp message at 630-6519 or email us at madeofbelize@skz.bz.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
Good evening. Welcome to the evening news here on Love Television for today, August 14, 2026. I am Ernesto Vasquez. The Auditor General's report for 2017-2018 is querying close to $3 billion in write-offs that never made it to the House of Representatives for approval. While some of these write-offs were carried out under the Barrow administration, the report says a huge portion was actually removed from the government's books under the current administration, but backdated to March 2018. It is a curious case, especially when placed against an event from 2019. At that time, Kaya South Area Representative Julius Espat challenged the write-off of $40,000 reportedly owed by the son of then Cabinet Secretary Carlos Perdomo. Espat argued that the issue was bigger than the amount involved. He said the government has a responsibility to open about how it handled public funds because those in office were merely the custodians of the people's money. For context, we take you back to that interview with Espat in November 2019.
I don't think you all realize how important you are for democracy. And so that's why I stress it every time. If the Fourth Estate joins up with the people to demand justice, it will happen. For example, just to give you a clear example, if you guys and the people didn't rise up and rail up for the $40,000, it would have never been paid back. In fact, they took it to the House to try to justify it. They defended it on television. They did everything possible to defend something that everybody knew was wrong. But it is because of you guys and the people through social media and other means voicing their objection to this horrendous situation that happened. The money all of a sudden was paid back in one day. So that means the money was always there, or access to the money was always there. That's power to the people. And that is what I believe we should strive and fight for, no matter which party is in government. You have to have checks and balances. The modern world or the mature democracies, they understand that these things are important. We want to play hide and seek. We want to still do all of our deals behind the table with no light on and make hope that nobody knows. If the public did not pressure the government of Belize and the cabinet secretary, $40,000 would not have been paid back. It is because the people of Belize, through the media, got a hold of the problem and decided that they were not happy with it, and through various angles decided to pressure the government. And in the end result was that they paid back the money. Transparency is important for people to understand that anybody vying for leadership has to be able to show that they are good custodians of the public purse.
Well, 7 years later, the question of transparency over government write-offs has returned, and this time involving billions of dollars. Here is the report. The Auditor General's report central finding is that approximately $2.83 billion in long-standing balances was removed from government accounts without auditors seeing any proof that the House of Representatives approved the move. Under government's financial orders, write-offs above $10,000 generally require approval from the House. The largest adjustment involved approximately $2.51 billion in the debt tracking account. That account was supposed to keep track of international loans, money received, and loan repayments. Auditors, however, were told that it had not been used consistently and also contained expenses and transactions that had not been properly matched or explained. The entry clearing that $2.5 billion was made on December 15, 2023 under the current administration. But instead of carrying the 2023 date, it was given an effective date of March 31, 2018, when the Barrow administration was in office. Auditors said they could not determine whether the adjustment was correct because the account had not been properly reconciled and the supporting documents were not provided. Another $361.4 million was removed from a suspense account. This type of account is normally used temporarily when accountants have not yet determined where a transaction belongs. That balance was also cleared in December of 2023 and backdated to March 2018. The report further questions the removal of more than $2.3 million in miscellaneous advances. That account had reportedly been inactive since 2011. Officers could not properly explain why the balance was cleared, and the auditors found no evidence that attempts were made to recover any outstanding money before it was written off. According to the report, during an interview on June 25, 2026, a finance officer reportedly confirmed that the write-offs were done before approval was obtained from the House. And for clarity, a write-off is an accounting action that removes a balance from the books and does not mean that close to $3 billion in cash were stolen or physically disappeared. Now News has sought feedback from Auditor General Maria Rodriguez and will report accordingly. The report continues. The write-offs are only one element in the 508-page Auditor General's report for the 2017-2018 financial year. The wider report paints a troubling picture of weak record keeping, missing documents, unreconciled accounts, and public losses that were not properly tracked. Perhaps the most serious overall finding is that the Auditor General could not give a clean opinion on the government's financial statements. In fact, the auditors could not give an opinion at all because they were not provided with enough reliable records to verify several major account balances. The Auditor General concluded that the accounts did not fairly show the government's financial operations for that period under the Dean Barrow administration. The timeline is also notable. The financial statements were for the year ending March 31, 2018, but they were not submitted to the Auditor General until April 30, 2026, more than 8 years later. That delay made it harder to locate documents, verify transactions, and find officers who could explain what had happened. Also found that government did not have one complete register showing all the land, buildings, vehicles, machinery, computers, and other property it owned. This means there was no single reliable record showing what government assets existed, where they were, or what they were worth. Several major account balances also did not match. One section identifies a difference of more than $61 million between two of government's main financial statements. That discrepancy was not properly investigated or corrected. The auditors were also unable to independently confirm government's outstanding loan balances. The report says some public officers who would know about the transactions were unavailable or had moved to other positions. In several cases, the auditors were left without anyone who could properly explain why certain entries had been made. The report also found serious problems with the government's statement of losses. Of 386 cases reviewed, only about 10% had fully completed loss forms. 224 cases did not even include a dollar value, making it impossible to determine how much government had actually lost. The police department accounted for the largest number of loss cases, with 161, or almost 42% of the files reviewed. Of those, 115 had no loss amount recorded. The cases included vehicle damage, traffic accidents, and missing firearms. Further, the report notes that the auditors identified 16 media reports involving possible losses to government, but only one had a corresponding official loss report. Separate sections raise concerns over the Belize Defense Force finances. These include more than $62,000 in credit card purchases that were not properly accounted for, suspected mismanagement involving over $220,000 and more than $63,000 collected through an unauthorized petty cash operation. The report also raises questions over the handling of the BDF Benevolent Fund, duplicate receipts, and other funds that remained unaccounted for. Another serious matter appears near the end of the report, where auditors describe the apparent destruction of records during an inspection at the Golden Harvest Haven Rest Home. We understand that the Accountant General's Department has acknowledged several of the weaknesses, promising to improve record keeping, reconciliation, and internal controls. We turn now to the aftermath of the failed BTL Smart acquisition. Concerns are surfacing over whether the collapse of the proposed deal could eventually expose the government to a legal challenge. Reports reaching Love News suggest that the Public Utilities Commission's determination that BTL is a dominant provider could become relevant if SpeedNet or any of its shareholders seeks to challenge the conditions under which Smart has been competing. That concern has gained further attention following an internal message sent to BTL employees today by Chairman Markham Lizarraga. Lizarraga confirmed that the PUC's determination has changed the environment in which BTL operates. He told employees that the designation brings additional regulatory obligations, greater oversight and constraints that will require BTL to be more disciplined in how it competes, invests and serves customers. The chairman's message did not refer to any legal action, but he did note that the dominant provider designation as BTL's immediate challenge, saying the company should not underestimate the regulatory headwinds ahead. Meanwhile, some attorneys familiar with the telecommunications sector are concerned that the PUC's findings could be used in a future claim questioning whether Smart has been competing on a level playing field in a market dominated by BTL. PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher was asked this morning whether the failed $80 million transaction could leave the government legally exposed.
That gentleman does not get into any business transaction for charity. He gets into business transactions to make a profit. And he does whatever is in his power and in his group's power to maximize that profit. So I would not describe any business deal or any transaction that he has ever proposed as charitable. Certainly, I think that there were many other external issues having to do with lawsuits, etc., that are coming. What we need to do as a government, and I will certainly be the first advocate of it, is we have to explain to the people exactly what these issues might be. That is most important. We have to be able to communicate. We have to be able to explain to them and to hear back the feedback when it comes to any of these issues. So as they come, then we have to be able to let the people know what's going on.
In his employee bulletin, Lizarraga said the BTL respects Cabinet's decision not to support the acquisition and now considers that chapter closed. He acknowledged the time and effort employees invested in evaluating the transaction, but said the company must now focus on growing through other avenues. Meanwhile, SpeedNet Communications Limited has broken its silence following Cabinet's decision not to support Belize Telemedias Limited's proposed acquisition. In a release today, SpeedNet confirmed that BTL first approached the company with an offer to purchase it in 2022 and again in mid-2025. According to SpeedNet, the first round of discussions was terminated by BTL following an assessment of public sentiment. While SpeedNet welcomed the outcome, the company used today's statement to level strong criticism at the regulatory environment in which it has operated. SpeedNet alleges that BTL has maintained market dominance for 25 years, claiming that particularly since government acquired ownership of BTL in 2009, regulatory practices have favored BTL and placed SpeedNet at a competitive disadvantage. Among the issues highlighted is the requirement for government ministries to publicly tender telecommunications contracts, which SpeedNet says would provide it with greater opportunity to compete for government business. The company also pointed to the Public Utilities Commission's regulatory treatment of BTL as a dominant market operator. SpeedNet argues that enforcement of PUC decisions should result in measures aimed at creating a more level competitive environment, including the possible removal of what it describes as unfair surcharges imposed on competitors. It further says infrastructure sharing requirements should allow competitors access to telecommunication infrastructure at cost, subject to regulatory and judicial enforcement. Looking ahead, SpeedNet says it intends to invest heavily in new technology, equipment, systems, and infrastructure as it positions itself to remain a major competitor in Belize's telecom market. The company says its objective is to continue providing modern, telecommunication services at affordable prices. And in the wake of Cabinet's decision to reject the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited by Belize Telemedia Limited, PUP Party Whip Henry Charles Usher reflected on both the debate surrounding the proposal and his own position on the controversial transaction. Speaking today, Usher reflected on the intense public debate that preceded Cabinet's decision and explained how he personally viewed the proposed acquisition. He noted that while there were arguments advanced about the potential benefits of consolidation, Cabinet members also had to consider the wider concerns expressed by Belizeans.
Yesterday, Cabinet made an informed decision. It's a decision that came out of many months of consultations, both individually and collectively as a Cabinet. It's a decision that I support. From the very beginning, I had my reservations about the acquisition because I was informed by the ultimate beneficial owners of BTL, people of Belize. They were the ones that raised a lot of questions, and in discussions with them and discussions with different stakeholders, these reservations came to the fore. And in addition to that, there was a lot of issues when it comes to legislative and regulatory areas that maybe needed more clarification. So it was something that we had a lot of discussions on. I'm glad that Cabinet was able to get the presentations that it did this week from BTL, from the PUC, and from the Social Security Board. We were looking forward to hearing from the Chamber and from the NTUCB, but in the end we couldn't work out the details, and we were able to come to a consensus yesterday on the way forward. So yes, Cabinet has already said that they are not supporting the acquisition. As to your question, of course, it is something that will now inform both the PUC and the board of BTL when it comes to this particular proposal.
Usher addressed the first round of negotiations where limited information was given on the idea of the acquisition. According to the PUP chair, immediate gratification will not always be possible, a concept that he says has to be kept in mind, especially by the media.
Well, I think sometimes you have to give the fiduciary persons on board the opportunity to get the information, be able to be informed, and you have to allow that process to be done. And I think that sometimes the media, Channel 7 is one of the media houses that whenever they get information, they want answers right away. And I think sometimes you have to allow the process to go through before that answer is given. An informed decision is a better decision.
And so with government controlling a significant shareholding in BTL, Cabinet's decision not to support the acquisition effectively closes the door on the proposed BTL Smart deal. And Cabinet may have rejected BTL's proposed acquisition of Smart, but the Belize National Teachers Union says its planned demonstration for Tuesday remains on the table until BTL's board of directors formally rescinds its approval of the transaction. BNTU President Nadia Calais says Cabinet's announcement should not be treated as the final step, since government-appointed representatives on BTL's board voted in favor of the acquisition. According to Calais, those votes must now be formally reversed to provide certainty that the proposal cannot be revived. Calais says the union will continue preparing for Tuesday's demonstration even if the National Trade Union Congress of Belize ultimately decides to withdraw from the action. The NTUCB General Council is scheduled to meet tomorrow, while the BNTU Council will meet on Sunday to make its final decisions. The BNTU held a virtual meeting last night with 261 members to discuss the proposed BTL Smart acquisition and the wider labour response. The meeting, chaired by Calais, included presentations from union reps, members of the Senate, and the BNTU leadership. Calais urged Belizeans to remain actively engaged and not assume that Cabinet's statement alone has conclusively ended the matter. She says the movement must also focus on broader systemic and constitutional reforms to strengthen accountability and public participation. The BNTU president explained that the union follows a bottom-up decision-making process and is continuing consultations with its membership. However, she maintains that unless the BTL board formally rescinds its vote, the teachers' union intends to proceed with Tuesday's demonstration. Well, despite the failed acquisition, BTL chairman Malcolm Lizarraga had maintained the confidence of UP chairman Henry Charles Usher. Lizarraga was one of the leading public voices defending the proposal. He argued that combining BTL and SMART could improve efficiency, strengthen telecommunications infrastructure, and create benefits for consumers and shareholders. Cabinet's rejection of the deal subsequently brought up questions on Lizarraga's capacity at the helm of BTL. In Usher's perspective, the failed acquisition should not be seen as a reflection of Lizarraga's leadership or his ability to continue serving as BTL chairman. According to Usher, Lizarraga's performance on the job has been commendable.
I don't think that he should be asked to go. I think that the consultation, in my view, could have been more, but I don't think that they failed to consult. I'm sure that they did a lot of consultation, but they could have done more. They can always do more. And whenever there are so many concerns, especially when it comes to legislative issues or regulatory issues, I think it's important for those to get clarity before moving forward. I think that the chairman, like I said, and the management team at BTL has been doing a good job, and we can't overlook that. Taking the return on equity from 2 to 3% to 8 to 12%, looking at different areas, expanding, diversifying the services being provided by BTL. These are areas that they have to continue to work on. Now, this was one proposal, and they had their reasons for looking into this proposal. And now they have to look at how they can look at other services to continue to move forward. BTL and the CEO of BTL has said very clearly that they're moving away from a telco company, telecommunication, to a techco, a technology-based company. So that is important that they continue to diversify into those other areas.
I think that this current chairman, he saw consolidation, the future as consolidation when it was extremely ruggedly competitive. Would you say in that instance then maybe you should be looking for someone else that would have a similar vision moving forward? I
think, as I said just now, the traditional companies, BTL, SpeedNet, Global, AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever you want to, whichever company you want to use, they're all facing existential threats because of the rapid development of technology. So these companies have to be able to look at different areas to diversify, have to look at how they can continue to have a positive return on equity, return on investment for their shareholders. The people of Belize want to make sure that they continue to benefit from BTL. And so that I think that's important that they continue to do that.
Malcolm Lizarraga was publicly identified as the company's newly appointed chairman at BTL's February 2021 annual general meeting. Yesterday, government launched the Sugar Smart Cluster platform at the Escuela Secundaria Técnica Mexico Conference Room in San Roman Village, Corozal, through the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center BACSF project. The platform will provide farmers with easier access to information, services, grants and financing opportunities. It will also create a shared digital space where farmers, associations, service providers and financial institutions can interact. The program builds on the existing Smart Grow system and is intended to strengthen coordinations across the sugar value chain. Daryl Odenet, Senior Project Manager at the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, explained the significance of the platform.
What we're launching here today is a Smart Sugar Cluster. So if you think of the Smart Sugar Cluster, you have the industry right now that is a organic system, right? You have a value chain within the sugar industry. The idea of the Smart Sugar Cluster is digitizing that, having a digital community where all the various sections of the industry, the persons, stakeholders, service providers within the value chain has a part of that digital community. They have a way of interacting with each other. There's an element that has a marketplace, so potential service providers could market their services and goods there. Farmers have access to ready information from BSISR, for instance, as the miller, We have the associations being players there. So there's this digital interaction that this platform, and that is the significance of it, that we're moving away from the days of where value chain information has to be manually done. It has to come from the miller, it has to come from the buyer, it has to come from the service provider actually going to visit farmers or vice versa to interact and transact. So this is a digital platform that allows us to do so.
The launch comes as the Baxaf project enters its third year, following delays associated with fusarium and replanting challenges. Under the project, participating farmers are expected to receive support equivalent to a 40% grant, primarily through services and agricultural inputs, including seeds, rather than direct cash payments. After nearly 3 years of negotiations, Belize and El Salvador have signed a partial scope agreement to open new markets for Belizean products and increasing investment between the two countries. The agreement was signed on the 13th of August and grants selected Belizean goods preferential access to the Salvadorian market. Unlike a full free trade agreement, a partial scope agreement applies only to products and areas negotiated by both countries. The process dates back to December 2023, when Belize and El Salvador launched the first round of negotiations. The talks focused on reducing tariffs, removing barriers to trade, protecting investments, and creating a system to settle trade disputes. A second round of negotiations was completed in June of 2024, following a meeting involving Prime Minister John Briceño, Foreign Affairs Minister Fonseca, and Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele. By September of that year, Fonseca reported that significant progress had been made, but acknowledged that negotiators were still working through a lengthy list of products and other outstanding matters.
We've made tremendous progress, but there's still some work to be done. There's a number of outstanding issues, but we're very pleased with the progress that has been made. Our team from the Ministry of Foreign Trade has been working diligently. There's still a long list of items that we're discussing with El Salvador for Belize to gain some preferential access. So that's ongoing.
The negotiations have now produced a signed agreement. According to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the deal will give Belizean exporters access to new markets, reduce the country's dependence on its traditional trading partners. The agreement also establishes a bilateral trade and investment promotion group. That body will encourage investment between Belize and El Salvador and oversee technical cooperation, joint projects, training, and the sharing of knowledge. Minister of State for Foreign Trade, Marconi Leal Jr. says the agreement builds on the long-standing friendship between both countries. Leal was joined by CEO, Ambassador Oscar Arnold, Director General for Foreign Trade, and Sutherland, Ambassador Emil Mena, and other senior officials and private sector representatives. Moving on, the government of Belize and the Nature Conservancy Belize have signed an agreement to work together to better protect and manage Belize's rivers, watersheds, and other freshwater resources. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed yesterday by the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Solid Waste Management and the Nature Conservancy Belize. The partnership will see both sides working together on watershed planning, monitoring water resources, collecting data, raising public awareness, and involving communities and other stakeholders in freshwater conservation. The agreement comes as Belize's freshwater systems face growing challenges, including flooding, drought, rising temperatures, and pollution. The Nature Conservancy brings years of experience in freshwater conservation and watershed management, including working with governments and communities to restore watersheds, preparing for the effects of climate change. The organization's Belize Country Program Director, Hannah St. Louis Martinez says the partnership is important because what happens to water in one area can affect communities and ecosystems further downstream. Through the agreement, the government of Belize will work with the Nature Conservancy to strengthen the way the country's freshwater resources are monitored, managed, and protected. And Belize's dairy industry is looking to improve milk production and the quality of its cattle through new technology and training overseas. A delegation of dairy farmers and other industry partners is currently attending a technical program in El Zamorano in Honduras. The participants are receiving training in cattle genetics, herd management, and modern dairy production systems. Former Agriculture Minister José Abelardo May says the program is exposing Belizean producers to methods that could help modernize the local industry and make farms more productive.
In Honduras, Costa Rica, then we saw a crossbreed of European animals and tropical animals, which produce twice the amount of milk that our cows in Belize produce. So if the cows in Belize are doing 30 pounds of milk a day, the breeds we saw in Costa Rica are giving you 60 pounds a day. And this is a cross between the Gir, which is an Indian, originally from India, crossed with the Holstein. And there is another tropical breed, which is the Guserat crossed with the Holstein. And these two 50-50 give you twice the amount of milk that we produce in Belize, and it gives the animals the toughness, the adaptability to the harsh conditions that we have in this country. We had visited Zamorano, and they had expressed interest in helping us, helping the farmers to improve the quality of products. One of the concerns the Belizean people have is that, the cheese, they're not a good cheese. It doesn't have the Kraft quality. It doesn't have the American quality. It doesn't have the stretchability that you have in the American imported cheeses. And so it was important for the Ministry of Agriculture then at the time to decide that we need to train our dairy producers so that they can go in and improve on the quality. Send them there to improve, to learn how to do good quality product, how to improve the quality of products so that we can have better acceptability by the Belizean people. If you have poor management, you don't take animals, you don't treat them when they are sick, you don't give them vitamins, then you won't be a productive farmer. So genetics is one of the key factors that will allow the farmers to have a profitable business. Transfers or transplants is not new to Belize. I think one of the pioneers who did this some years ago was Barry Bowen at Galanjok Farm. I think that is, as far as I can remember, the first embryo transplants in Orange Rock District. Subsequently, other farmers have tried it. Blue Creek, I know there's a family in Blue Creek who tried it. We have Spanish Lookout, they have tried it. We have Central Farm has tried it, but not to a level of success. First, it is cutting-edge technology. It has improved since the first time in Belize.
Mike told us that particular attention is being given to Gur Holstein and Gujarat Holstein crossbreeds. The cattle have reportedly performed well in hot tropical conditions similar to those in Belize. Discussions are also underway on the possible introduction of embryo transfer technology and young heifers. They want to improve the genetics of Belize's dairy herds and increase the amount and quality of milk produced locally. CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture, Samuel Obaiza, told us training is not limited to cattle and milk production. The participants are also learning how to improve the processing, quality and market value of products such as cheese, cream, yogurt, ice cream and powdered milk.
The objective is for them to see firsthand or to experience the process from the field to the production of milk. One of the challenges that the dairy sector in Belize is facing is one is productivity and also quality in terms of our production of our dairy products, specifically cheese. And therefore, one of the initiatives of the ministry was to collaborate with AICA And so this trip was organized for the dairy sector. And so we have people from both the northern dairy farmers and from Spanish Lookout, Western Dairies, along with personnel from the ministry, attending this training in Honduras at Zamorano. The dairy sector right now is already producing different types of cheeses, yogurt, butter, and a variety of products. The Belizean public, though, as you know, has particular taste for different things. Our producers need to look at consumer demand, not only locally, but also, let's say, the tourism sector. The tourism sector demands high quality, let's say, mozzarella for their dishes that they would serve to the tourists. And so those are the things that we have to look at, and those are the challenges that we face at the moment. And by undergoing this type of training and looking at how to improve our quality, then we're able to cater to the market, the local market that we have. Our objective then is to have these persons then disseminate whatever they learned, the knowledge that they gained in Honduras, to the rest of the farmers.
And it's all being carried out with the partnership of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. More news after the break. Don't go away.
It was rainy, muddy, playing in a whole heap of mud.
We actually started working out of an apartment with about 6 of us. It was only 9 of us.
About 15 of us, not sure where we were heading.
I came from Cancun, Mexico for an interview and I didn't go back.
First time working a big girl job.
And if you didn't know, you had to figure it out. I didn't know anything about plumbing, so I had to study YouTube.
We won the bid.
I definitely have to ask your boss to give you a raise. I plan on retiring here.
8:39 in the night, I'm still picking up the phone.
And each layer matters, guys.
I want to see or hear people say that Design Depot is a family.
Design Depot to me is like a family.
And we all combine to make this one beautiful Sunday dinner. I don't know who might be the salad, but
1, 2, 3.
Never stop.
People, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Hardware store, now we online giving you more. Home or job site, no stress, no sweat. Everything you need, you could get. Household appliances, day or night. Shopping for supplies made easy and light. Click, click, boom, and the order done. Building in Belize just got more fun.
Why we're long in a line? Save your energy and your time. Delivery pulling up right by your gate. Castillo's Hardware, making building great.
Feel smarter, shop easier.
Castillo's making life sweeter.
Anytime,
Anywhere, hardware shopping without a care.
browse online, get what you need.
Fast and easy with lightning speed.
Pick up or delivery, choose your way.
Castillo's got you covered every day. From your phone, just tap and buy. No more hassle, no more.
Do it best with Castillo's Hardware.
Belize, you feel it yet? Carnival season there. Creole Heartbeat there too. One brand new showcase band celebrating for we Creole culture with rhythm, with pride. Come wear the beautiful costumes. We talking you on the road. Join the band. Call 600-7453 or email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Creole Heartbeat, come feel the rhythm.
Back to school tax-free days are here again. Saturday, August 15th and 29th. The Belize Tax Service is pleased to inform all consumers that General Sales Tax (GST) will once again be waived on eligible school supplies. In addition to the existing exempt zero-rated items, the government has approved the following school supplies to be GST-free for the designated period. The approved items are taxable items, tax-free for the approved days, pens, uniform material, ready-made uniforms, binders, folders, highlighters, markers, pencil sharpeners, calculators, regular and scientific, scissors, folder pages, graph paper, typing sheets, rulers, Bristol board, correction fluid, whiteout, eligible footwear, black school shoes and black tennis shoes, tape, brown paper, book cover, crap paper, newsprint, shop paper, liquid soap, glue, geometry set, lunch kits and boxes, socks, hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Exempt zero-rated, notebooks, textbooks, workbooks, school bags, pencils, crayons, lead pencils, erasers, and pencil cases. Remember, check your receipts after purchase to ensure GST is not incorrectly applied. Report any abuse or non-compliance by calling 613-2773, 613-8375, 614-5731, or 613-2840. For further assistance or information, please visit or contact any Belize Tax Service office countrywide. Our team is ready to assist. Back to School 2026 with the Angelus Press is here, and this year is bigger and better. We're talking unbelievable deals all summer long. Starting June 15, stock up on all your school essentials.
New notebooks, check. Fresh backpacks, check. Prices that make you smile, double check.
Mommy, I want my new Samsonite backpack.
That's right! Samsonite still offers a sweet 1-year warranty. And hey, you even get a free merch with purchase while supplies last. Stay in the loop by following the Angelus Press on social media every Friday during our back-to-school season. Look out for our jaw-dropping, this stuff for real deals.
So before you shop, make sure you follow
The Angelus Press, your back-to-school headquarters all summer long. The Angelus Press and the Love Foundation, transforming lives with love.
The BCCI's Expo Belize Marketplace is back and celebrating 30 years of Belizean innovation, enterprise, and business. Save the date and join us on Saturday, September 12 and Sunday, September 13, 2026 at the Marion Jones Sports Complex in Belize City from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Experience Belize's premier marketplace where entrepreneurship and opportunity come together under one roof. From exclusive deals and promotions to delicious food, drinks, and live entertainment, the Expo Belize Marketplace has something for everyone. Whether you're shopping, networking, discovering what's new, or simply enjoying the Expo vibes, this is one event you don't want to miss. Celebrate 30 years of business excellence with us at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2026, where Belize does business. See you there. Sponsors include
Belize, the king of soca, returns to the Jewel after 10 years. Marshall Montano with his full band and dancers to give you the encore soca and culture fest experience. The Belize Tourism Board, Belize Bank, Cellular World, and Digi, our national telecom, present the 12th annual Guinness Soca and Culture Fest. Sunday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. And if you think last year was great, this year will be even greater. Doors open at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Also featuring St. Martin's Juggling and Dancing Queen, DJ BB Bad, and General Super G. Belize's Soca Queen, Ernestine. Belize's Soca Don Dada, TR Shine. Belize's top DJs plus more.
Get your tickets now. General admission $80, VIP $215, Ultra VIP $365, and limited sky deck for $500.
So mark the date for the 12th annual Soca and Culture Fest Encore Experience, featuring the King of Soca, Marshall Montano.
Sponsored by
Welcome back, and we continue with the evening news here on Love Television. Police have formally arrested and charged a Sardinia fisherman in connection with the fatal stabbing aboard a vessel near Ranguana Key. 33-year-old Mauri Julian Gomez was charged with murder for the death of 35-year-old Belize City fisherman Jose Luis Arteaga. Gomez was also charged with wounding in relation to the injuries sustained by 34-year-old Marvin Alexander Arteaga. The charges were formally brought against Gomez last night following a police investigation into Wednesday's incident. We reported yesterday Jose Luis and Marvin were among a group of fishermen aboard a vessel anchored some 25 feet off the coast of Ranguana Key on the 12th of August. Police say Jose Luis was stabbed several times and jumped into the sea after being attacked. Marvin, who was supposedly sleeping aboard the vessel, was also stabbed, once to the chest. The other fishermen intervened, restrained the alleged attacker, and took away the knife. They then pulled Jose Luis from the water and sailed towards Placencia to seek medical assistance. The injured men were transported to the Placencia Polyclinic, where Jose Luis was pronounced dead shortly after 6 o'clock that evening. Marvin was stabilized and later transferred to the Southern Regional Hospital for further treatment. Following the investigation, Gomez, a fisherman from Sardinia village in the Corozal district, was charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of wounding. And the 2 men convicted of killing prominent Belize City businessman Oscar Rosado Sr. have lost their bid to overturn their conviction and sentences. The Court of Appeal dismissed the appeals brought by Brandon Hughes and Jose Daniel Gomez, who were found guilty of Rosado's April 2018 murder. The ruling was delivered electronically yesterday, almost 10 months after the appeal was heard in October of 2025. The panel comprised Justices Michelle Arana, Minette Haviz, Bertram Woodstock, Riley, and Peter Foster. Rosado, who was 70 years old, was shot twice to the head during a robbery at Rosado's Hardware on April 23rd of 2018. The shooting occurred inside the business and in the presence of his wife. In December 2022, Justice Suzanne Lamb convicted Hughes and Gomez following a trial without a jury. Hughes was identified as the gunman, while Gomez was convicted as his accomplice under the principle of joint enterprise. One of the central arguments raised on appeal was that the trial judge did not provide written reasons for the convictions. The defense maintained that the omission amounted to a substantial miscarriage of justice and made the convictions unsafe. The Court of Appeal acknowledged the importance of a judge providing reasons, but concluded that the evidence presented at trial was sufficiently strong to support the convictions. After reviewing the transcript and the evidence, judges found no basis to interfere with the trial court's decision. The ruling has brought another measure of relief to Rosado's family more than 8 years after his murder. His son, Oscar Rosado Jr., spoke with us today about the appellate judge's decisions and what it means for the family.
What can I say right now? It's normal to feel complex and intense emotions right now. I'm full of, emotions. I can say this is a massive victory for the legal system in our country. I'm so happy that they upheld this verdict. My family and I are so thankful. I never gave up. God, every morning I pray. From the day my dad died, I prayed like everybody pray for justice. And the only person that could have given justice is our God. And God has illuminated into these legal judges who've heard this appeal. And there's no way I was there after my dad was shot. I came out. The gun was put to my head. I would never forget this person. I still can picture him right now. And so I'm glad he needs to serve his time, all of them who assisted in this. What I can say right now to those criminals, give thanks to God that you are alive. I wish my dad was alive today. That's all I wished for. He did not get a court hearing where he could decide if he wanted to be alive or not. He was those criminals sentenced him to death. And so their conviction of jail time is nothing compared to what me and my family is going through. But I say to you, to the criminals and to all those out there, you hurt us, yes. You hurt God. Thou shalt not kill. But there's time for repentance. I hope that this time in jail, they can still find time to ask God for forgiveness, true forgiveness.
Hughes was sentenced to life imprisonment and must serve approximately 25 years before becoming eligible to apply for parole, after credit was given for the time he spent on remand. Gomez was sentenced to 12 years in prison with eligibility for parole after serving 8 years. His remand time was also deducted from the period he is required to serve. Both convictions and sentences now remain in effect. In other police news, the cops in St. Helena Town Crier District have begun engaging businesses and food vendors ahead of the September celebrations with a focus on preventing robberies and improving security during the busy holiday period. Officer commanding the St. Helena Police Substation, Inspector Mark Martinez, led a meet and greet operation alongside San Ignacio community-oriented policing personnel. Sergeant Erwin Canul and Police Constable Georgia Lucas. The officers visited several establishments and spoke with business owners, vendors and security personnel about practical measures they can take to protect their operations and their customers. Inspector Martinez encouraged businesses to install monitored surveillance camera systems, handle and store cash securely, and ensure that security officers remain vigilant while on duty. Emergency contact information was shared so that businesses can quickly reach the police if they require their assistance. And the police have laid charges in 2 separate incidents reported in Placencia and Kikoker, while investigators in Belize City are looking into an alleged online sales scam involving more than $500. In Placencia, 34-year-old Michelle Fairweather has been charged with burglary following an incident at an apartment behind Tide's restaurant. Police responded to the location on Wednesday morning after receiving a 911 report of a man attempting to enter the building. The apartment's occupant, 38-year-old Felipe Magana, told the police that he was inside his vehicle when an unknown man approached him, demanded the keys to his apartment. Magana then went inside, secured the door, called the police after hearing loud banging. The investigators say the intruder damaged the deadbolt and doorknob to gain entry. When the officers arrived, they found Fairweather inside the apartment, detained him. He was arrested and charged with burglary. A Keokuk woman has been charged with attempted murder following the stabbing of her former boyfriend. 33-year-old businessman Aaron Gentle reported that he was socializing at Mangrove Beach on Sunday evening when his former girlfriend, 27-year-old Courtney Bowman, contacted him and asked to meet to discuss their relationship. Well, Gentle traveled by jet ski to a pier on the north side of the island where Bowman was waiting for him. Well, according to him, Bowman became emotional after he told her that their relationship could not be repaired. Gentle alleges that as he prepared to leave, Bowman jumped onto the jet ski and stabbed him twice to the neck with a knife. The two struggled, fell into the water before Gentle managed to escape on the jet ski and obtain assistance. He was first treated on Keokuk, later transported to the Belize City Carl Huchner. A doctor classified his injuries as wounding. Bowman was detained on Wednesday and been charged with attempted murder, use of deadly means of harm, and wounding. And in Belize City, the police are investigating an alleged Facebook sales scam after a 19-year-old man reported losing $550 while attempting to purchase an iPhone. Jason Bernard told the detectives that he contacted a Facebook user operating under the name Cold Heart after seeing an advertisement for a black iPhone 13 being sold in Orange Walk. Bernard says that after the payment was made, the seller blocked him on Facebook Messenger. Attempts to contact the individual through another account were unsuccessful. At the time of the police report, Bernard had neither received the phone nor recovered his money. We have the final segment of the news coming up after this break.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
riot. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing no trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
North, South, East, and West. Belize City will have the best lobster fest. BNS Beach and Northern Fishermen Cooperative presents Lobster Fest Beach Party. August 29th and 30th. Come be a part of this 2 days event at the BNS Beach. 3 3/4 miles George Price Highway. Food and drinks will be on sale. Then, who will be Belize's best chef? As we have lobster cook-off competition, kayak race, chocolate mud wrestling, greasy pole, bouncy house, and a whole lot more. They can't stop, yo. Do what you want. Live entertainment by Vida Mugs and Taprit. So make it a date. Don't be late. August 29th and 30th, BNS Beach, Lobster Fest. Admission, $15 adults, $5 kids. Gates open at 10 a.m. Be there.
Belize, get ready for the ultimate showcase of culture, creativity, and carnival excitement. The Belize Carnival Association presents the annual King and Queen Competition 2026. On Saturday, August 15th, the Belize Civic Center comes alive as our magnificent Carnival Kings and Queens, juniors and seniors take the stage. Witness gigantic costumes, breathtaking designs, and spectacular performances as these incredible creations come to life right before your eyes. Who will capture the crown? Who will be named the next Carnival King and Queen? And that's not all. Enjoy a live performance by Kenny G and the New Creation Band. Prejudging begins at 5 p.m. and the show starts at 7 p.m. Admission is only $10 for adults and $5 for children 13 and under. Bring your family, bring your friends, and experience the magic, the energy, and the splendor of Belize Carnival.
Welcome back as we bring you the final segment of this evening news broadcast on Love Television. An East Indian mural was unveiled today in Punta Gorda as the southern town prepares to host the annual Yellow Ginger Festival. The mural is part of efforts to highlight and preserve the history, culture and heritage of Belize's East Indian community. That focus on heritage comes as the East Indian Council of Belize Southern Chapter prepares for the 2026 Yellow Ginger Festival, which takes place today through Sunday in Punta Gorda. Our senior correspondent Paul Mahong spoke with the chairlady of the Yellow Ginger Festival Committee, Scarlett Ramklam Palacio.
This morning we unveiled the mural for the East Indians culture here in Punta Gorda. It is remembering our past, reviving our roots and embracing our future as Indians in Belize. It was well attended and it is also located at the Mora Lopez Market here in Punta Gorda on the George Price Street opposite the Belize Bank. So whenever you're in Punta Gorda, you can pass by the market and see the story of the Indians in Belize. It's a wonderful mural painted by Miss Jill Burgess and funded by Niche. Whoever come to Punta Gorda and want to know more about the Indians can just pass and look at that mural, and you'll see from when the Indians arrived in Belize in the 1800s until present. You can see what they are doing now to develop this community and the country of Belize. Just come out and see for yourselves, enjoy, bring your families from your children, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, everybody will have fun. There will be something for everybody. Oh, and we also have we have an East Indian family tree based dated back to the 1800s. So you can also come out and look at that tree and see where you fit in or where you can add for us. Thank you.
Well, that annual celebration brings together East Indian traditions, food and culture with activities including cultural performances, traditional food demonstrations, masala making, coconut husking and grating, and the popular Takari eating contest. And a one-week bartending summer course for young people between the ages of 18 and 29 concluded today at Ella's Cool Spot in Hopkins Village. The training was organized by the Department of Youth Services, the Stan Creek branch, and saw the participation of 44 young people from Dangriga, Hopkins and surrounding areas. Paula Castillo and Lyndon Ciego shared their experience.
Thanks to the Department of Youth Services, I now have the knowledge and the capabilities to build my own drinks. And thanks to these drinks, it will be a way for me to either stand on my own 2 feet, create a business of my own, and or become a vital member of a team.
In this week, I have met new people, I have learned new things like bar equipment, some new drinks. I have learned different types of glasses, different types of garnish, and a lot of other stuff.
While providing the participants with knowledge and practical skills in bartending, they also learned life skills to support their personal development. With that story, we end tonight's and this week's edition of the Evening News here on Love Live at 6. Coming up next will be the weather report. And before I leave, though, I want to say thanks to you for choosing us to follow your news on a daily basis, I hope. And don't forget to join us again on Monday night, same time, same place. Over the weekend, though, any updates with the news, any breaking stories, you can follow on our sister radio station, Love FM, which is on 24/7. Thanks again. I want to thank Giovanni and Greg behind the controls and the team in the newsroom for bringing it all together on a daily basis. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. I am Ernesto Vasquez.
Good evening, Belize. Shower activity decreased over the country this afternoon, with our latest radar observation showing light isolated shower activity up north. Conditions will become more moist and unstable as a tropical wave approaches the country. The 24-hour forecast: cloudy skies at times tonight and tomorrow. Some showers, a few thunderstorms, and periods of rain will likely occur over most areas, especially coastal and southern areas tonight into tomorrow morning. Showers and thunderstorms will then decrease tomorrow afternoon. The low temperatures for tonight will drop to around 80 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, and 68 up in the hills. The maximum temperatures for tomorrow will reach 87 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 91 inland, and 80 up in the hills. The winds will be from the east-northeast at 10 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and the sea conditions will be moderate to rough. A small craft caution is in effect for occasionally gusty winds and locally rough seas near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Operators of small craft should exercise caution. A low tide occurred this evening at 5:39. A high tide will occur tonight at 11:31, followed by a low tide early tomorrow morning at 5:39, and another high tide tomorrow morning at 11:43. The sun will set this evening at 6:19 and will rise early tomorrow morning at 5:35. The moon will set tonight at 7:50 and will rise tomorrow morning at 8:16. In the sargassum forecast, there's a medium chance that a few more sargassum mats could drift ashore during the coming days, moderately impacting beaches across the country. The outlook for Saturday night and Sunday Skies will be partly cloudy to cloudy. Showers and thunderstorms will be isolated, with a medium chance for a few more over the south Saturday night and possibly over central areas Sunday morning. In a tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected over our area during the next 48 hours. Our next forecast comes out at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. For a review of our forecast and other products, please visit our website at nms.gov.bz. Our next forecast comes out at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. With that, we end this evening's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.